Hi everybody and welcome to my place. As you'll notice when you look out the old magic window over here, you'll see that it's snowing out. We're in the middle of a snowstorm right now, so I thought what a perfect day to be able to talk to you about PowerPoints. PowerPoints have been used for a long time in education and by businesses for presentations. The only problem is people don't exactly know how to put a PowerPoint together. So the purpose of this video today is to show you how to put a PowerPoint together. So let's get started with it. The first thing is you'll notice here is how to create a quality PowerPoint presentation. So hopefully I'm going to be able to walk you through this and you're going to be able to see how in the world we're supposed to put these together. The first thing you need to remember is a PowerPoint is not a report. If you're going to be writing a report or composing a report, use Microsoft Word for that. That's what that's designed for. A PowerPoint is a presentation tool. And when you're presenting, that's when you're able to share your ideas, you're able to answer questions as you go along, and you're able to just share your thoughts through your PowerPoint presentation. So always remember, don't use a PowerPoint for a report. Use a PowerPoint if you're planning on doing a presentation to an audience. So students in the classroom, that's what you're going to be using your PowerPoints for. Let me just kind of show you an example of how not to do a PowerPoint. And I bet you anything, a lot of you will be able to say that you've seen PowerPoints done like this. How many times have you gone to a presentation and you've seen a speaker have a whole ton of text on the screen and they're just reading off of the screen? So, for instance, they'd be going, there are many times that people will add a lot of text to a page, on a page in a PowerPoint. Research has shown that the audience is blah, 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 and it just goes on and on and on. This is not what we want to be able to see because your audience will not stay engaged. Also, anybody can do this. All you have to do is copy paste and just dump it into a PowerPoint slide and you're on your way. That's not the way you do things. If you're putting together a really good PowerPoint, you're able to formulate your thoughts and then you're able to share them through your presentation. So, what we're going to put together here today is a PowerPoint about health and some ways that you can stay healthy, mainly through food. I'm going to have a little quiz when we're done with this, so let's find out if you're able to do this. So just see if you remember what I talk about here. One of the biggest ways that you can help live a healthy lifestyle is just plain to eat smaller portions. We eat so much at one sitting. If we just have smaller portions, then everything might be a little bit better. Help you control your weight. It would be able to help you not feel so full all the time, so you'll have a little bit more energy. So remember, smaller portions are the key to helping have a healthy lifestyle. Also, we have vegetables. Eat lots of vegetables. And you'll also notice we have a lot of colors. A lot of research has shown that the more colors that we put on a plate, the more healthy we're going to be eating because, you know, our vegetables have a lot of color with them. So, I mean, look at how nice that looks. Lots of color and it's vegetables. Also, you could be eating fruits. Eating out of the fruit family, fantastic. Almost as good as being able to have your vegetables. And you'll notice here, there are a lot of colors here also. So that just helps you have a lot more pleasure while you're being able to eat. So eat those vegetables and eat those fruits. I love the way this is displayed in here. Now remember, it's okay, you really do need to, and it's okay, to be able to slice up your meals. Slice up your routine. Come up with something that's a little bit different. Maybe one day a little heavier on the vegetables, another day maybe a little more fruit in there. Smaller portions, slice up what you're doing, and you'll probably enjoy the whole eating thing a lot better. If you do all of those things, your body is going to be celebrating because you're going to start getting it in sync. Sometimes we eat way too much meat and too many fried foods. So this way, we're able to be jumping for joy and having a lot of fun with what we're eating. Now, what I just shared with you, let's see if it actually got into your brain. And I think you'll find the power of being able to use only images. If you'll notice, there wasn't a lot of text on the screen. The power of having those images can be a really big thing. So let's find out how much you remember. Do you remember what I said about this slide? Do you remember this was the one talking about health and having a healthy lifestyle, especially through the foods we eat? If you did, congratulations, good job. How about this slide? Do you remember what we said about this slide? Eating smaller portions, good. How about this slide? Vegetables, having lots of vegetables, mix up that color, have a lot of color. How about this one? Yeah, our fruits. So we happen to have those fruits in there. If you remembered that, and also it was still sticking with the color, good job. And what did we talk about on this slide? Now here's the big one. Did you remember that I said slice it up? If you remembered that, good memory, but it also shows you, find those images that will back up whatever you're wanting, whatever message, whatever content you want to be able to share through your PowerPoint. But if you remembered slice it up, good job with that one. And you remember this slide. Yeah, your body will be happy. Great, you'll be celebrating. See, nothing too difficult to be able to do. And you'll notice that it wasn't hard to be able to go through and just start talking, because those images will spark something in your mind that will remind you of what you've researched inside of your paper. Whatever you've put together, you'll be able to share it. So that's a painless way to put your PowerPoint presentations together. Now, if you do all of that, you're going to have a happy audience, and you're probably going to be happy too. But how do you kind of begin that process? Well, the first thing that I do when I begin the process is you've got to first have something that you're going to be researching. So make sure you have that. Go on the internet or look in books or look in magazines, wherever you can find your information, and keep track of that. Some people like to put it on note cards. Some people like to copy and paste it into a Word document, and then that way they're able to have the URL or sites or wherever they're getting their information from. That's okay. You're not plagiarizing, because all you're doing is doing your fact finding for right now. You'd be plagiarizing if you copied and pasted that into your presentation or into your Word document. So watch out for that. But first, gather that information. Then start thinking, how do I want to present it? If you'll notice with me, the background that I used was pretty much consistent through the whole presentation. And it took me a little while to find the background that I wanted, because I kind of wanted a happy, festive background. Then you look for the photos, the images, the graphics, the clip art, whatever it is you're going to be looking for that will convey the message that you're putting on the slide. Once you've kind of started to think about those things, then you actually move on to the developing process. And right here we have a PowerPoint slide. And this is usually something like what the first one is that'll pop up for you. And what you're going to want to do is decide, am I going to use the text that happens to be on here, or am I going to just have a blank canvas to work on? This is okay to use this. The only problem is a lot of people don't really need to have this title on there unless you're doing a table of contents. You don't need to have that. But in order to be able to change that text, if you want to use it, the first thing you do is you just go up to the Home tab, and then you have the text option. So you see you have text right in here. And then you just go down below, and then you can change your text that you happen to have. So you're able to move through that. Now, maybe you want to be able to enter your own text and not be a slave to the text that they happen to have on the page for you. So what you want to do is click on the box that's around the outside of where it says click to add title. Once you've clicked on that box, then you just hit your delete key on the keyboard, and that'll be gone. And then you can start brand new with whatever layout you want to have. So then you'll just go up to the Insert tab, and then right here it says Text Box. When you hit Text Box, you'll have a text box that pops up on your screen, and then you're able to start typing inside that text box. And then you can add any text you want, and when you go back to your Home tab, you can change the font, you can change the size of the text, you can do all of those things. Now, when you're wanting to come into here and you're wanting to create maybe a blank slide, as you go along. Maybe you don't want to be stuck right off the bat having all those text boxes and things. If you go to the Home tab, and then you'll see right up in here, then you're able to go in and you're able to choose whatever the slide style is that you want to have. I prefer this one out of all the ones that I use because I like to just have a blank page come up without any other predetermined text boxes that pop up onto the page. All right, now you're going to want to be able to put your images in. It's not hard to put the images in, and Microsoft has made this pretty easy. Now, this is available in the online version of PowerPoint, and Word also has it if you're using the online version, the version that's in Office 365. But let's say we want to put an image in. We go up to the Insert tab, and then you'll see right in here, it says the online pictures. If you got something on your computer, then you can just go to picture right up there. But we want to go to the online ones, and then you choose pictures from Bing. If you choose that pictures from Bing, everything that's in there that happens to be available, you can use in your presentation without any worries of copyright violation. That's a great addition to 365. Once that pops up in the search area, this search box right up here, you can type in what you're looking for. And you'll see I typed in dogs. So my paper happens to be on dogs. I go ahead and I click my search, and up comes a whole bunch of pictures of some really, really cute dogs. I mean, there's some really awesome dogs there. So we're just going to choose this one that happens to be right here. Now you'll notice I have the fourth slide selected. Anything that I happen to insert into my PowerPoint right now is going to go onto that fourth slide. Any of the slides that you've clicked on, that's where your images are going to go. So I click on that, I come down to the bottom, and I click on Insert, and it comes onto the page. Now, it's probably going to come in pretty small, so you're going to want to make it larger. And that's pretty easy to do. All you have to do is grab a hold of these little resizing handles that are in the corners, and if you left click and drag that, you'll be able to make that graphic larger. That works out really slick because you don't want this small little image on your screen at all. So now it goes onto the page. I've got it the size that I want. I've got it kind of centered on the page. That works out great. You'll still see I'm on the fourth slide right down here, but I want to enter in the text that I would like to be able to share with my group down in the bottom. Now, this is where you can type in your words because you can print that out later if you would like to. So you'll have your text down in here, but enter your text right down into the notes section of your PowerPoint. It's not tough at all. And you'll notice I'm back up into the Home tab, so this is where I can work on all of this, and if I want to add a little bit of text, I can add my text that would come in here. I can do all of that at this point. All right, now we're starting to get finer and finer with our PowerPoint development. You'll notice over on the side, my slide is now up to number 2 position. All I had to do was grab a hold of it when it was in the number 4 slot, just left click and drag it up to the second slide. Super easy. That's phenomenally easy to do. Here's my photo that I have, but you'll also maybe notice I've now added background to my slide. I personally like to look for images that I put in the background. If you remember in the PowerPoint, earlier in the PowerPoint demonstration I had that really bright festive background. That was just a graphic that I found that was a royalty-free graphic, so I wouldn't be breaking any copyright laws, and I put that in the background. I resized it and made that work. Maybe you just want to use some of the stock backgrounds that they happen to have, their themes that they use inside of the presentation, or you just want to be able to come in here and you want to be able to use the variants. I always forget what that's called. You want to use the variants with that. So all you have to do is find the one that you want. You click on it and it'll apply it to your whole PowerPoint. It goes to the whole PowerPoint through here. That's another reason I like to use my own, because if I want to, it's really easy in the online version to be able to go through, and every one of my slides would have a different background. If you use the desktop version, you can just right-click on these and you can apply that to just one individual slide. That works great. The online version doesn't work quite that well yet. It will be, I'm pretty sure. Now, when you're saving this, if you're in 365, it's automatically saving into your OneDrive account. But let's take a look at this. If you want to change the name of your presentation, you just come right up here, and it automatically starts with like Presentation 1. It'll automatically have a name up there. If you click on that, you can retype whatever you want to call the name of your document. And you'll notice I'm in the online version. If you're on the desktop version, it doesn't say online after it. That's a really quick way to find out which version you happen to be working on. That usually happens at home. You kind of run into problems, you forget which version you're on. You just look in that upper left-hand corner, boom, you've got it right off the bat. It's wonderful. So remember, change your name right here. Right here, I included all of the different tabs that you'd be using. So you can see we have the Home tab and all of the elements that are in the ribbon of the Home tab. We have the Insert tab. We have our Design tab. All three of these are going to be your best friend as you're working through PowerPoint. We have the Transitions tab, so you can change what it looks like when you move from slide to slide. A word of caution, be very careful on what you're doing with this. Don't use it a lot. Your audience does not like lots and lots of different effects when they move from slide to slide. Kind of try to stay away from that if you can. You'll also notice we have an Animations tab right here. Animations are the way text or items appear on your screen. They can slide in, they can fly in, they can twirl in. You can do all those kinds of things with your animations. The only problem is, after you've watched a presentation for a while, you're about ready to throw something at the screen because you're so tired of seeing all of these animations taking place. So stay away from doing animations, and if you do use them, make sure it's for a very, very specific point in your presentation. And we also have the View tab, which is really nice for the different ways that you want to be able to view your presentation. Also from there, you can start from the beginning or you can start from the current slide if you'd like to. This is a place where you can click on being able to do that. Now, if you follow all of those items, you're going to be creating probably a pretty quality PowerPoint presentation. And that's always a really good thing to be able to do because people like PowerPoints. The only thing is they can kind of get just a little bit on the boring side unless you follow these ideas, because these ideas will be able to help you with your presentations, and it'll make it so people want to listen to you, and it'll really be showing how much knowledge you have to share. So that's great. Thanks for watching this tutorial about how to create a quality PowerPoint and how to be able to present that PowerPoint. Keep watching for more tutorials as they come along, and hopefully they'll help you become better at using your technologies. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you tuning in. Take care, and I'll see you later.